Hello everybody, this is the small movie critic, and after the third time I'm trying to get this done and watching a whole load of Sonic, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm actually ready to do a spoiler review. Is anybody coming to my room now? I swear to God, if they do, I will bash the living shit out of them. I'm doing a brief review because my family doesn't know when to freaking stop coming into my room after the second time. Okay, so the movie is distributed by Paramount, and I like the fact that they have, instead of the stars that come out for the Paramount logo, is rings. And it's also been distributed by the Sega Sammy Company, whatever its name is. And Sonic the Hedgehog is voiced by Ben Schwartz, which I think he does a really good job about that. And James Marsden plays as Tom Wachowski or Donut Lord. I'm gonna name him Donut Lord because that's basically his character name, and that's what Sonic calls him during the movie. And here we go. Here's the review. I love the part where the movie starts with Sonic being a loner. Is that you wouldn't think a cool guy like Sonic would be a loner because he really was a loner. But the true story is that because he was a loner, but the way he became a loner is because he used to live with an owl that should have been in Harry Potter. Amazingly, he jumped out of that universe and came into the Sonic franchise, which I have no explanation, and I don't know the name because the name shall not be spoken. And right now, and at this point, he's a little child running around Green Hill Zone. Zone is a bold word because you'll hear a lot of green hills in this review. Now, Green Hill Zone is one with the loop-de-loops in the original game, which again is probably the most iconic level in the original game. And while he's there, he can't. The owl says, "You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't go out running around and start revealing your powers to everybody else." The classic parent thing. Even though it's not really the parent because he was an orphan, and they find out what his powers are. He has to run out and go into Earth. And Earth is a shithole. That's it, shithole. And because I'll tell you how Earth is a shithole. There's a place where he lands in called Green Hills, Montana, where we meet Donut Lord. And obviously he has nothing to do because he tries to pay a speeding fine for a turtle who's going as slow as shit. I mean, that is a bit humorous, but right now I'm in a shitty mood, and that's why right now I'm actually doing it as serious as I can. I like the part that makes it a little bit humorous. Plus, by the time I'm saying this review, it says it's 10 years later. We meet Donut Lord. He's the sheriff of Green Hills, Montana. Green Hills, not Green Hill, Green Hills, and he manages to come up and do stuff. I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. Again, I hope that nobody comes in here because I'm really to lay down the furious smackdown. Now, Sonic, all this time, for 10 years, was spying on him because that's the stalker that Sonic the Hedgehog is. I guess that's something that you wouldn't want to tell your kids. Sonic the Stalker, instead of Sonic the Hedgehog. Meet Sonic the Stalker, where he stalks you home and stalks you there for 10 years before actually getting to know you. But they get to know him in the most stupidest fashion ever. he tries to leave Earth because he's been found out by the government after running around a baseball pitch and blowing up the city, causing it to lose power. And they try to find it through Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey. Stupid idea ever. Mind blown. But if that's not all, he goes to the military comp saying that he's in charge. I would listen to him if he's in charge and he has all those robots flying around, and he says, "I'm in charge." And he says in the film that he always wins. He even says that to Donut Lord when he infiltrates his home in Green Hills, Montana. Then, after all this hubbub, they try to find Sonic, who is hiding in Donut Lord's house after getting tranquilized and falling to the floor, losing his rings in San Francisco. Sounds a pretty all over the place plot, but no, the rings that he had are teleportation and goes into different galaxies, different Earths, different planets, and different parts of the Earth. And he manages to say San Francisco because that was on top of Donut Lord's t-shirt, and it opened a hole to San Francisco, and he dropped his rings on the tallest tower in San Francisco, and that's where the plot of the movie starts, because he just needs to travel to San Francisco to get his rings back, and he's trying to leave Earth to the Mushroom Planet. Yes, you heard it first, the Mushroom Planet. The planet of all mushrooms. I wouldn't want to be there because I think that would stink. But anywho, Dr. Robotnik says he always wins because he can't find Sonic. He starts to leave until he finds a quill. And a quill that is a very, very important plot point in the movie. He finds it, takes it, and says, "I was right." And Sonic comes out under the desk and say, "Hey, don't hurt him," after pointing his robotic death machine at the Donut Lord. And the Donut Lord punches him in the face, and they're off to San Francisco. And obviously, Dr. Robotnik has nothing else to do but chase Sonic because he's getting paid by the government to do this kind of shit. But Sonic gets mad all of a sudden and rolls onto the remote-controlled, apparently, tank and gets rid of it, and he does the floss. You thought the Hedgehog from the original trailer was terrifying? No, he does the floss, and that makes it even more terrifying. I imagine seeing those two put together. Oh my god, that would be a match made in hell. So, they get rid of it, and then they have a baby tank that apparently gives birth from the other tank, and chases Sonic, trying to pop the wheels. And plus, that's the only thing I didn't mention, they're driving a car, and he takes the wheels because he was watching race movies, Fast and Furious, and starts driving, even though I don't know how he starts driving because his feet don't hit the wheels, but that's the nature of comedy. But in that area there, they try to find his wife Maddie, and they destroy the tank before then. I'm going backwards again, and then they're going to see Maddie to get him to safety because he gets blown up, and that was the death of Sonic. I wish that was the end of the plot point, though. I wish because the movie changed trajectory. I'm not saying that. Changes direction in a totally different plot point when they get to San Francisco, into Dr. Robotnik coming up trying to get the rings while they're on the tower, and before then, I don't know how Donut Lord didn't get arrested for saying it's a child, but it's not mine, in a bag where Sonic is, and these people just magically walk away. I would imagine they would have called the police, but no. But because he showed a badge, they don't need to call the police. But then again, Robotnik comes up and he calls him Eggman. What a shock! He called him Eggman. Oh my god! I was actually in shock as well. I'm not lying about this. This is a great film. I might be acting out there. I might be a little bit too stupid to say that it's a bad film. Don't come anywhere near me, you sack of shits. Because it's a different point of view, it just works out completely in somehow, and it just blends all together very, very nicely, which is something that I don't know about. Don't come anywhere near me, for God's sake. They don't know. Oh my god. Okay, they're in the toilet. I don't know why the hell I needed to mention that. That is private life. And apparently that quill that I mentioned to you before is powering up his little ship to make the missiles go as fast as Sonic does, because in Sonic time they're going super slow. As soon as he presses the button, they all go the same speed that Sonic does, and that's where the plot point changes. And changes again. And now Sonic's on this wild goose chase through the city to different timelines, to China, wherever the hell they're going. And they end up back in Green Hills, where Sonic pushed off Maddie and Donut down into the thing, and he follows them down, throws the ring, and back to Green Hills. And he ends up back in Green Hills, and that's where an epic final battle takes place. And the battle is the best video game battle I've ever seen, basically. And Sonic coming back and taking down Robotnik, sending him to the Mushroom Planet, where and the help of Donut Lord, he goes into the Mushroom Planet, where he gets his trademark bald head and his mustache at the end of the film, and we find out that Sonic is living with Donut Lord and Maddie for the rest of the days. And here comes the famous post-credit scene. The post-credit scene that is a very spoiler thing that everybody does not like to hear about. But I'm hearing it anyway, so suck it. This is a spoiler review, so what do you expect from me? Tails is in the film, possibly leaving open a sequel. And that's something that I really value in movies like that. If they have a cherished character in the post-credit scene, and the same as the Miles Tails Prower, and that's a pun as a miles per hour. If you're living under a rock and you don't know who Miles Prower is, that's Tails. That's Tails' real name, but people called him Tails in major of the film because he's a two-tailed fox. And so that's where my review ends. But in all fairness, Sonic is probably the best video game film I've ever seen. It surpassed Detective Pikachu. I haven't even seen that yet. And in the box office, and right now on opening weekend, it's $60+ million in the box office, which is really impressive for a video game film. And this one is probably the best video game film I've ever seen. Everybody is typing profusely, saying there is definitely better video game films. I'm not lying. That if you haven't seen this film yet, I don't know why people wouldn't want to. I'm pretty sure the people who are watching this probably did see the film in cinemas. Good for you. People, and all these people agree with me that this is probably the best video game film of all time. And this obviously leaves open plenty of potential for other video game films, like maybe Crash Bandicoot or Mario, or maybe another video game character of their own. Don't mention Bubsy. So in my rating, it's a highly recommended film, and again, as I said in my original review, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know what everybody else has given it, but that's the end of me. So this is the Small Movie Critic signing off.